Front cover reseal. Oil pan reseal. It's been a long night. Ooh. Yeah. I'm tired, man. I'm wore the fuck out. And I still got another one over here I gotta do. Still gotta reseal the front cover on that 14 EcoBoost. It's exhausting. Some of you know. I'll take you over here in a second. Show you what I got. No, I'm too far into it now to go home. I can't go home now. Losing my damn mind. Losing my mind. going on, man? No, Freedom, that's not the case with these. These are actually really good vehicles. They're actually really good to service even when they need major repairs. These are not hard vehicles to work on at all. It's actually one of the easiest vehicles to work on. They had some major failures in the back. In the quarter areas, they would rust out real bad, but if you did some preventative stuff and sprayed it with oil once a year before wintertime and stuff like that, you could prevent a lot of that from happening, and the subframes would rot out on them. So spray that down with oil real good and keep the issues up with the subframe being sprayed and the undercarriage being sprayed, and these things they'll run 300,000-400,000 miles, no problem at all. These had external water pumps on the driver's side of the bank 2 head, which is the front head on these. So if you think to yourself, dick in the flywheel, as I did say that, dick in the flywheel, your right hand is bank 1. So this is a transverse engine. If you're standing from that side and you're putting your pecker in the flywheel, reach out with your right hand, that's cylinder 1. So bank 2, the back of bank 2 is where the water pump would be on these, which would be your left hand towards the, and you know, it's kind of, I'm from Arizona, what's this rust stuff you're talking about? Well, the rust stuff is where real mechanics get to meet their maker. The guys that don't have to deal with rust, they would be lost. I'm just talking shit, by the way, but it's a completely different world when you're having to beat 10 pounds of rust off something just to get it apart. I've seen guys from down south, I've seen them from out west and stuff like that. They have no idea what it's like to struggle when it comes to working in the rust belt. It is the worst place to be a mechanic, working in the rust belt, because you will lose your shit over and over again. Alright, I gotta tighten up 2 more big bolts, and I'll take you over there and show you what I got so far. Oh, I'm definitely sleeping in late tomorrow. The boss is getting a message when I leave tonight. Hey, don't complain when I come in late, because I'm coming in late. All right, I got it down pretty good now. Take you over there and show you what I got going on. Good evening. I got a bunch of work, man. This front cover is completely full of oil, and the oil pan. This front cover was completely full of oil, and the whole bottom oil pan and stuff. It looked like all of this back here. See all that oil and stuff right there? I still got to wash off. So I didn't quote out the oil pan at first because it didn't really look like the oil pan was leaking. And I forgot to tell them to get me a gasket, so I actually ran down to the parts house myself and I grabbed a gasket. I paid $57 for this customer's gasket that I'm not going to charge them for. And it's one of the nicer high-end blue Felpro ones, so I ended up putting a Felpro gasket on it for them, not one of the cheap ones, one of the expensive ones. And then new front seal, new oil pan gasket, new gasket on the front here, new gasket on the back here, new gasket in the V, and then silicone right here in the corners. You can see a little bit of silicone. Let me see if you can see a little bit of silicone right there. You silicone the spots where everything comes together. You do it down here at the pan where it meets the block and the front cover on both sides. Then you do it back here at the cylinder head where it meets the block, on the inside where it meets the block, here where it meets the block, and here where it meets the block, all the meeting corners. And then it has gaskets everywhere else. Problem is this vehicle doesn't really get driven a lot, so you have this type of stuff happen when they don't drive it a lot. It's only got 55,000 miles on it. That's why it's not rotten. That's why everything, you know, elsewhere, transmission and everything else still looks new. So just kind of slowly going back together, burning the midnight oil, trying to get as much done as I can. We got one guy out. One guy just came back from being sick with COVID, and just trying to turn up as much as I possibly can before I crash. I hate doing this type of stuff, but sometimes it's what you got to do, you know. This is where you figure out exactly what you're made of. And I'm not saying by hurting yourself, I'm just saying by figuring out what you're willing to put yourself through to get the work done. So, I mean, I like turning and burning, but I'm to the point now where I've turned and burned too damn much lately, and I'm really wore out. Show you what it looks like here in a sec. that ain't nice. No, it's not. It's Elgin, Texas. No, not Elgin, Texas. Trying to get rid of this person right here. My screen's acting up. Hide user from channel. Yes. Alright, sucker, I said yes. There we go. Oh, there. Okay, so one of the moderators is on. Almost hitting that 40,000 sub mark, man. Yeah. It's coming along slowly. I mean, I ain't trying to rush it or anything like that, but it is what it is. I know I need to get some rest. I thought about that. Just work as long as I can and just go in the break room and just pass out. Don't even go back home. Just go in the shower in here because I got to change the clothes in there already, and there's already soap and towels. So why not just shut all the damn lights off and go in there and fall asleep in the break room, so at least I'm at work and I'm not driving home, because we just got like 3 or 4 inches of snow. I opened the door back there and there's snow all over the ground, no tire tracks in it or anything. It's going to be hell driving home. So you might be right. I may as well work as long as I can tonight and just sleep right here. I don't know. Got a lot of work to do. It's crazy. And then, you get people emailing you, asking you questions, wanting to... They need your help for everything. Run my VIN, check my warranty history, do this, do that. It's like, then you got people sending you tools to do reviews and stuff on, and they're wanting your feedback immediately. And I'm tired. One of the most important things when you do this job on these 3-liter motors, a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of guys will neglect to do this, is when you pull this crank off of there, it's got a keyway. It's got a Woodruff key, right? But that keyway is not a total seal. You need to take some TA357 and run down that keyway. Or for some of you that don't know, that would be some kind of silicone that you trust that's oil resistant or whatever. So I clean out this keyway right here that goes to that Woodruff key, and then take you a light bead of TA357 or silicone of your choice that's oil resistant, run down that channel. Just like so. Run a bead down that channel, and then get ready to use the old bolt to pull it on. Alright, and now take you a little bit of oil and just lube up this just a little bit, clean it up real good. Take a light film of oil and just light film of oil around that. Now, but another live stream when you get the tools around. So if you have up to a 2003 town car, it's stamped in the trunk. When you pop the trunk of a town car, there's two places it can be. If you look at the package tray, where the material is, that comes up underneath, you can pull it down and there's actually a rectangle right there, or on the passenger side trunk hinge, where the hinge actually opens up. 2008, you won't be able to find it. You got to go into the computer, so you're going to have to actually buy a ForeScan and get your OBD Link EX connector, and you're going to have to pull the code through the PAT system, or I think it's called a PAT system still, or security system there. You won't find it on that late of a car. They quit doing that in like 2003, was the last year. Somebody just brought a car back to my hobby shop, and it was right on the trunk pivot point on the passenger side, but it was the last year that you can find it, which was 2003. And there was two locations some people would find it. On the trunk hinge, when you hinged and opened it up, it would be stamped on the inside of the trunk with a little rectangle white tag. It'd be a 5-digit number. Or if you actually pull the material down a little bit in your trunk where it meets up with the molding on the glass side, like right underneath it, on the left side, there's a rectangle right there that it would be stuck inside that rectangle sometimes. Alright, so I've got the crank set in. Now I'm going to slowly draw it in there. So it ain't going to go in there all the way. There's two ways you can do it. You can use a puller, or you can use an old socket and just tap it until you can get enough thread started. I've done it 1,000 times. Guys cringe when I do it, and I'm like, bro, chill out. It's alright. So I've got a 29 millimeter 12-point impact socket that fits the diameter of this crank pulley perfectly. And I use this on the drive shaft recalls on the Transits. Alright, we're good. It went in there about 4 or 5 threads. Now, we won't get old Tina out here, and Tina's gonna go to whoring herself out on that hole. All right, now I'm going to show you what ends up happening. You'll start to get that push out from that Woodruff key right there. And then when you put the new bolt in, it'll help seal in that spot, and it'll create that setup spot right there so that oil can't leak past that. And you see, I'm in the same spot where I left off. I made my own marks here, here, here. Just, I like doing it. I know it's got a Woodruff key, but I like to make mental note of where I'm at no matter what. And I'm right back in the same spot, which is always a good thing. The new bolt is an F5RZ 6 Apple 340 Bravo. It's a so Mac is the same thing as DeWalt, and Stanley owns everybody. So the DeWalt batteries, the 5 amp hour batteries that are half the price of the Mac batteries, fit the Mac tool, and you get all the juice that goes along with it. It's the same as the DeWalt Impact, except it just says Mac on it. No, I can't hit the sirens because those suckers will start recording. As soon as you hit the sirens, it'll actually record the event that's happening until they turn off. I got in trouble at the last dealership I worked at. Whenever I pulled the cop cars in, one of the lube techs was going to my box and he was going to grab the tire tool, because I always have like the nicer tire, the air trucks and stuff. And I got a nice, what the hell is it called? The company that makes all the air fittings. I got a nice Milton. It auto knows the pressure. It corrects. When you go to hook up, it doesn't freeze up. It auto turns on. It does everything. It auto shuts off. A lot of the other ones you got to turn them on. This one, as soon as it detects air pressure, it turns on by itself, and it doesn't give you a false reading. It knows how to reset better than any of the other like name brand tool truck air tools. This right here is the cat's pajamas, the cat's meow, the cat's balls, the milk on the foam on the milk, or whatever the hell you want to call it. That's what this air tool is. Love this thing. Yeah, the police chief sent a message to the service manager and said, hey, we thought it was kind of funny when he started yelling out the window at the lube tech to get the hell out of his box, but I just want to let you know that's not okay. Let's not play with the cop cars. As soon as you hit the sirens, it starts recording immediately. And I was like, oh shit, sorry, my bad. This was 570, or this one is the 100th anniversary edition Snap-on double angle finder. It does all kinds of different measurements. It goes all the way down to 15 foot-pounds of torque. And this is the best one on the market. At the time it was on sale for $575. Snap-on by far makes the nicest torque wrenches that I've ever used. I don't swear by Snap-on by any means. I don't swear by any tool manufacturer. I just like Mac because I like the few distributors that I've used with Mac. They're really nice people. So I typically go by customer service because all the tools are really worth it. But I find that Snap-on is actually the most overpriced tool out there. And to me personally, it's not as good as the price that they're asking for. So I typically will only buy from Snap-on when I really need nice specialty tools. Other than that, I give most of my money to the Mac distributor for the main part. And Matco, whenever they come in every once in a while, I like them. But I use this on cylinder heads, blocks, cranks, transmissions. This is I use for sensitive stuff where they're big, pricey, critical items. Now on this crank bolt, I'm only doing this because I ain't got nothing better to do. I've done so many of these damn crank bolts, I can use an impact, draw it in, back it back out, draw it in, back it back out, and then watch it turn and know exactly where it's supposed to stop and it never come loose. But I'm just doing this to do it. So first 89 foot-pounds, and then you back it off. And then it says apply 37 foot-pounds. And then it says once you get the 37 foot-pounds, go 90 degrees. So then I'll switch my tool over and I'll switch it over to degrees so I can track it properly. It's telling me to put it down so it can zero itself out. All right. I don't get paid by the hour. I get paid by the job. The good thing is, as of January 1st, we found out tonight that so the law HB 3940 was put into effect. Both Democratic Party and Republican Party unanimously decided together that they were for the HB 3940 bill. It was a 27-2 landslide victory, the first pass. The second pass was also Democrats, Republicans came together and they passed the second half of looking at the HB 3940 bill. And then Governor Pritzker here in the state of Illinois, he signed off on it, blessing off on him being okay with the bill. And that's stating that Illinois will be the first state in history to make the manufacturer pay the same price, if not more, that the customer pays. So as of January 1st, the manufacturer will have to pay 1.5 times warranty rate. So if it's a 19-hour short block, 21-hour short block, and these things that we're doing for the coolant intrusion recall, they got to pay like 30, 31 hours. They actually end up paying about 2 to 3 hours more than regular customer pay. So that finally went into effect. We all kind of met tonight at the end of the shop, and as of January 1st, it's full effect. And then January 3rd, when we come back to work full steam because of the weekend, there's a special procedure that you got to do to clock in and clock out. They no longer require you to be clocked in on the job the entire time if it already has a labor rate for that job. So if you've got a labor code that says it pays 6 hours to do this job, before they used to say, I want to see that technician punched in on that clock for 6 hours. There needs to, sometimes if it's like a 10-hour job, they'll be like, well, how did he sit on that job for 10 hours with no lunch? Something's not right here. And they would audit you, and you might get that claim bounced. Well, maybe the technician decided that he didn't want to take a lunch and he wanted to work straight through. Well, that kind of shady stuff was happening before. So they want to see punch on and punch off. Well, they decided to do away with that. You can't make people do that type of stuff. It's kind of shady. So as of about 2 months ago, they actually put out a service message more to the technicians in the business that said, we're no longer requiring the technicians to be clocked in on the job from start to finish. We have to build a better relationship with our technicians and our dealerships. We trust you. If it already has a labor rate, clock in, write your story, put your labor code down there, the hours that are supposed to be paid, and then clock off. You don't have to be clocked in on the entire time. You don't have to be clocked in at all, just enough to write your story and get off the job. Well, now they're saying come January 1st, what you'll have to do is you'll clock in, you'll write your story, you'll put your standard labor op on the bottom of the paper, you'll clock back off of it, then you'll clock in again, and then you'll put that same labor op on the bottom of it, except you're going to put an R at the end. And you're going to add half of the standard time. So if it was a 10-hour job, you clock back off, clock back on the job, put 1, 2, 3, 4 BR, R being the final number, 5 hours. So for that 10-hour job you used to get paid before, now you're getting paid 15 hours for it. But they want to see it clock on, write your story, clock off, standard labor time, clock back on, add half the original labor time, clock back off. But that R has to be at the end of that labor code. So there's a procedure you got to go through, and it's not a hassle at all. Maybe it's a little annoying to some people, but hell, I'm not going to complain about getting paid what they should have been paying us to begin with. If it has a confirmed book time, you get paid no more, no less. Well, I mean, it is what it is. The warranty has never paid what book time is. So that won't happen. You're always going to get paid a little bit more. I mean, it could. You know, the only thing we can do, Brody, is we can see whether or not it works or it doesn't work. That's it. There's no need in complaining about it, getting all up in a tizzy about it, trying to overthink the process. People that do that type of stuff typically make themselves more worried and upset about things rather than just letting the process happen. I don't dwell about it. I'm sure something is going to come of it that's not good. But you know what? Right now, I'm pretty optimistic about it, and I'm looking at the bright side. What happens, happens. I can't control that. And then my decision follows from there on what I do to address it. That's it. put this belt on there real quick. I'm the only one here. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. I noticed you changed your name. Was it always that, or you changed it? Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, in some cases, they're probably going to pay you a little bit more, from what I understand. Um, Also, um, I thought it was different for some reason. I always know the icon for sure. You're always here. Um, let's see. The only thing that you have to be clocked in for anymore is if you need additional time. If something's not working out for you and you're going to claim additional time, and manufacturer straight time or manager's time. How's the Dodge transmission? So the new ones back in the parts office, I just paid $2,500 for that transmission because I wanted to keep the core. I ended up paying like $24.75 out the door for the new transmission, and then getting to keep my old transmission. And then I started putting the accumulators and everything together in it, building it, putting clutches, steels and stuff together. And I didn't really like going back with the 1.2 accumulator, and I wanted to order a new 3.4 upgraded spring from Shift Technology Products. Shift Technology Products actually got me out an updated 1.2 accumulator, so instead of a plastic one, they sent me a billet one. It just came in today with Teflon rings and new seals. So now instead of plastic, it's a billet. What happens with those 46 REs is when it's going from accumulator to accumulator, the plastic will float and it's not very strong, and it'll actually bleed into one another and it'll cause some shift problems. So now I've got a new upgraded billet one to go in there. And then instead of putting the stock factory, not weak, but weaker, low reverse piston in the servo, I actually ordered this from a specialty transmission company that sent me a billet really beefed up, like 3 times the size of the factory one. Look at this thing. This thing is massive. They sent me a really nice one with all new rings, all new seals and stuff. Now I'll get to be able to rebuild that, get that factory junk out of there, and go to a really strong piston setup for that low reverse ring, or low reverse accumulator. So the other one's built. It's in the back. I'm gonna actually, the next free chance I get, I'm gonna pull the truck in and go ahead and stab the trans, get the drive shaft and everything back in, and then over the next couple weeks I'm gonna slowly keep building this up. I got rid of the factory frictions that were in there, and I went with the Ray Bestis ones. A lot of guys like those, and it comes with upgraded material instead of the stock material, so I got a set of those in there from TranStar. All that's going back in. I'm gonna repolish up the front drum. The Dodge is at the end of the shop, right outside right here. All the techs can pretty much do the work. It just all depends. Some of us have better specialties than other ones. Like me, I'm really good with electronics. I'm really good with programming. I'm really good with wiring and figuring out where the problem is with loss of communication, packets of information, corrupt data, stuff like that. That's my specialty. And any new vehicle stuff that comes in, that's really my specialty. I dig into that stuff a lot. It's very frustrating, but that's where I specialize. Some of the other guys, they're better at repetitive engine building and stuff, so they get really good at it and really fast. Me, my specialty is new vehicles, programming, electronics, engine building, anything really, but a lot of new stuff that most guys don't want to get involved in is what I will get involved in. Going to buy a 2022 F-150 with a V8 and 373 rear lock or four-wheel drive. Would you try to tell me otherwise? Nope. Buy it. I do. I have a scope. Where the hell is it at? It's laying around here in the abyss of all this stuff that's... What's the oldest tool you have in the box? I know you've got that one that means something. Yeah. Yeah. He's about 44, 45 years old. Made in the USA. It was the old school big dog CPs from back in the day. One of my coworkers gave it to me and said it was going out on him. And while he was away, I actually didn't want to do it in front of his face, and then he would feel bad. I actually ripped it all apart, re-greased it all, cleaned it all out, put a new, what do they call that, wobble shim or whatever inside here, put a new shim and stuff in it, and put it all back together, and the sucker works like it's brand new. Love this thing. It's 40, 44, 45 years old, 46 years old, something like that. And this sucker hits hard, and it's loud. Face is healing up good. They cut it open, took the chunk of metal out, stitched it up in a couple spots, but Sunday I get to pull the stitches out. It's an air hammer, yes. Old though. One of my other older tools, this is an older, it's not super old. I think it's about 15 years old. 15, 20 years old. 15 years old. I bought this when I first got in the business. And this is a snap-on, one of the older school air ratchets. I got to keep adjusting it up all the time. This thing right here will knock you down. It'll if you're not careful. This is the real knuckle buster, the old school one. And they make them even older than this, but this has got some age to it. And I beat the living hell out of this thing, and it takes every bit of it. This old cheap Central pneumatic 3/4 cheap ass $110 gun, still have to this day. I've had this for about 10-12 years now, and even though it was cheap, it breaks the damn bolts out of the transit frames when we can't get them out, and it does what none of these brand new high powered ones will do. This will knock the living hell out of shit. Yeah, I can. You want to hear it? Okay. Oh, you know what they did? They shut the damn compressor off. Look how soft the line is. You can push your fingers into the line. Fuck. I don't want to turn that damn thing back on. It almost has no air. Yeah, we're running out of air pressure. I'll show you that compared to this little quiet guy. It don't even want to run. This little air cat will make no noise at all. Yeah, we don't have no air pressure right now. It's not even fighting me. Boop. Oh well. Fuck it. Was one of the best pranks pulled on you by other workers or by other workers that work with you? Oh, at first he thought it was cute, but somebody came by with like a little pony or My Little Pony, and they put it on top of the box, and right underneath it, it had certified. What did it say? Certified YouTube Master ASE or something like that. I don't freaking know. And we laughed about it for a while because he didn't really know I had a decent YouTube following. And then when he seen my YouTube one day when he was looking for a video on VCT solenoids, he was like, "Bro, when did you start the YouTube channel?" I said, "I've had it for a couple of years, but I never really started focusing on it until about 7 or 8 months ago, 9 months ago." And he was like, "Dude, your channel's freaking huge, man." And I was like, "It's not that big. It's big, right? It's not really that big." And he was like, yeah, so I'm no pun intended with the YouTube ASE Master Certified thing, but I guess I kind of was a coincidence because you are a Master Tech and you got a pretty decent following on YouTube. We thought it was pretty cool, but I've seen some pretty nasty things happen. I've seen guys pull up the foam padding in somebody else's boot and then take their grease gun and put a dollop of grease up underneath the pad. So as the guy's walking around all day, it feels like his boot's all squishy and like pads moving around. And by the end of the day, all the grease is squished out all the way to the end of his toes and all the way up the side of the boot and stuff like that. It was a slow progression of coming out. That'll really piss somebody off. I've seen guys do things where they weld a chain to somebody's box and then around a pole. So then they have to dismantle the top drawer and stuff of the box and everything else to get things apart or whatever. I mean, just bad stuff. And I've heard a lot of stories about technicians pissing off like the foremans or senior guys in the shop, and they will take chains and tie them around their box and run them all the way up to the ceiling and tie them to the rafters or chain them to the rafters, and then make the guys, that never used a man lift before or something like that, watch them go up and get their own box down from up on the ceiling and stuff, or fill some guy's box full of foam, or fill an entire drawer full of nothing but grease. I've seen some guys do some really nasty things, but I would never do that to somebody. I don't play games with people. I don't play pranks on people. I don't mess with people's tools. I don't mess with their livelihood. I joke with them. I'm a very gay joker. For some reason, I'm a very gay joker, and I'm very comfortable with it. And I'm the furthest from a gay guy that you'll ever meet, but I love acting like I'm gay. Because at first people take me so serious and they get so uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden they're laughing their ass off and they're crying around me. And I'm like, look, man, you just got to get rid of some of that gay phobia stuff, man. Nothing wrong with gay people. Gay people are great people. Some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Trust me, strictly vagina for me. But I love playing like the gay guy because people think I'm so serious when I do it. And it freaks them the hell out. Nastiest car I ever worked on was a semi-truck. Slow night? No. If you see me working at midnight and I'm burning the midnight oil, it ain't a slow night. Shit. I forgot I gotta put the alternator back up there. Slowly coming out to the viewers. You'll be my first boyfriend, Dustin. Look at this big ass. Well, we service 5 different police stations, so there's a lot of cop cars here all the time. Best engine miles for a 2013 Escape, the factory ones. Yeah, I walked away at International. I was working for Rush Truck Centers, and one of the lube techs was doing an oil change on a Max Force 13, and he wanted to use the bathroom, and he got to talking and playing around on his phone while he was on a shitter, and he came back and it filled the engine all the way up through the crankcase all the way up the top of the motor, and there was like a big 30-foot circle around the truck where he had pumped oil out all over the place, and it took him like 3 hours to clean everything up, and bags and bags and bags of pigment. Yes, it's a Ford Escape. I just, you guys can tell them what I did. I'm gonna tighten up this alternator real quick. Oh shit. Taki mushrooms. Shiitake mushrooms are delicious. Get some light in here. Now I need to Oh my God. That top alternator bolt, you can't get to it. It's a pain in the butt to get to. Now I can put the damn engine belt back on. Yeah, oil pan's already done. Alright, sucker. Mess with me now. Let's see, make Corey's now a moderator on the channel. I appreciate you, Corey. I'm actually just gonna sleep here. Gentleman earlier gave me a great idea. I'm just gonna go in there and shower in our shower, and I got my vehicle here, so I'll go ahead and pull my vehicle and stuff in so it can sit inside overnight. Can somebody get rid of that vum.ong or whatever? Oh, did I? I'm sorry. I'll get. Where's that super chat at? Headlight strapning? It's just a Coast set of their glasses with the light built into them. So it has a LED light built into the Coast safety glasses. Oh, I appreciate that, Mason. Thank you. If you need any help with anything, please let me know. I really appreciate that. Thank you for notifying me about that super chat. No, I don't have any food here. I really do need to go get something to eat too, because I didn't eat anything. I ate this morning right when I left the house, but a little bit low on energy right now. But I've done fasting and stuff before. I know how it feels when you start to get sick, and I'm nowhere near that. What's better for breakfast, tacos or burritos? I'm gonna go pretty much tacos anytime. Yeah. What messages are getting deleted? Why are we deleting messages? What's going on with that? I'm just curious, fellas, that's all. Cookie dough and chicken, what the fuck? What's wrong with I need to go over here and look in the bolt bin because I'm missing one of those little shitty stud bolts for the exhaust. Yeah, I don't think yeah, leave it off. And then I got a comeback, right? I got a good string of no comebacks, so I mean they happen every once in a while, but it's over something stupid like, oh, you forgot to plug this connector back in. Who the fuck is these VOR people? I don't have a mini fridge here. Let's run over here to the bolt bin real quick and see if we can find what we're looking for. I'm sure we can. Probably find something better than what was put on there to begin with from way back when. Bingo. Gotcha. Found it immediately. Put some damn torque converter bolts on it, never come off. Gotcha. Ooh, boy, that boy is good. That's a Lamborghini panel wagon right there. Sapphire blue. Look at that. Look at that. A sucker. Got him. All right, let's zip him down. If I can figure out where the hell I put everything because I'm losing my damn mind. All right, there we go. I ain't never slept at the dealership before. I think tonight's gonna be the first night. Okay. The exhaust is on. The front O2 sensor's plugged in. Now I kind of want to spray off this block again. Yeah. We got like no air pressure left to blow it up. Spraying off the block, spraying off the oil pan, everything behind where the leak was. So I cleaned off the front cover, resealed and did all that, cleaned off the oil pan, resealed and did all that. But then I went back and sprayed the block off as well. And it's brake clean in a big jug that we put in a pressurized container and then spray it. Appreciate it, Mason. Jim, because it's just a lot of work. I'm just not ready to go home yet until I get at least a good stopping point, because I got a big job to pick up back on the same vehicle. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these or not, but they are a pain in the ass, and technicians do not like doing them. They'll typically order the whole lower section of the steering column because the EPAS system on these Escapes is built into the steering column. So if this sensor is not installed correctly with the timing tool, see how they got it all taped up out of the bag? It's got a pin in it. If this torque sensor does not go back inside exactly the way it goes in between the steering column, as soon as you go to start the vehicle up, if you got your hands in the steering wheel, it'll rip your hand completely 90 degrees sideways or more. These have to be installed perfectly, or you'll have to redo it every single time and keep putting a new sensor in there every single time. Now, a lot of guys won't do it. A lot of guys will just order the lower section of the steering column and say, you know what, I'm not fucking around with that. I'm sorry to the customer. I don't want to put myself in that position. The lower shaft is what we're going to order, so I don't have to worry about timing anything, and then I'll just restab the upper shaft to it, and we'll make it work. I'm not going to do that. This is the bad part. The set a code in there one time, I'm going to replace this. The whole thing doesn't need to be replaced.
come over here for a little bit. Yeah, finish it up and get some rest. That is what I'm going to do. Fuck. I'm exhausted. Exhausted. Yep, you know exactly what that look was. I didn't know where in the hell I set it down. When I get tired like this, I can stay on track and make sure I'm, doing the right thing, but I put stuff down and I lose track.
No, my dealer's not open till midnight. I just work as late as I need to. And it's way past midnight. There's a couple 8mm bolts down here on the side where there's a bracket that goes from like the block up underneath the throttle body. And you gotta put a couple bolts back in and help stabilize it, little small 8mm. And there's a couple bolts that go into the EGR back here. (2012) Ford Escape 3.0 liter motor reseal, valve cover gaskets, front cover, and oil pan. You guys should see my my 45 Gen 5. It's beautiful. It's a hybrid of the 19 and the 17 together, and I freaking love it. When I seen it, I was like, okay, that's like the best sized Glock I've ever seen or used or had. So I bought it. One of these days I'll do like a video on what I own. Yeah, it's the most reliable one out there. It doesn't matter if it's plain Jane or not. Sucker won't stop. It'll just keep going. Throw it in water, sand, doesn't matter. There's a reason why police force love it so much. But SIG now has that P320, and I like that hybrid system that they run. SIG and Glock have always been I really like them a lot. I'd have to say the best overall firing one that I've ever had is a 1911. I just love the way it performs. I'm working. Somebody's got to get the shit done.
There we go.
There we go. All right, so now. Reloading? No. Most people are going to stop because the prices have all come down. And everything's pretty much available. I just bought 609 for like $211. Oh God, I'm tired.
Shit. I gotta turn the air on because it runs the pumps for the oil. Well, while that's pumping up, at least I can do is check everything over.
See if I forgot anything. I don't think I did anyway. Connection here is good. Throttle body's good. Purge valve is good. Evap line is good. EGR is good. The rear hose is good. The upper hose is good. I didn't do anything down here at all. I gotta put this ground wire back together, but I have to, I need a high temp fitting that I'm gonna use for it. When you take this off, if you don't have a thin enough wrench to get down there on the bottom bolt, it's best to just go ahead and snip the ground wire right here. It's just a generic shit wire, and spin the whole bolt out together. And then when you come back, use one of those weather pack connectors to put it back in. This ground doesn't really do anything, but it does actually have a purpose. I mean, to an instance, I've seen them come in here completely rotted off, and they are running perfectly fine. But I need to put this back together because that bolt locks into the top of it and won't come apart. So I snip it and take the whole thing out, and then when I put it back, I put the wire back together. Make sure I got everything put back in the spots where it goes. That's good. I got push out here. I got push out here. So valve covers went in good. Front cover's really clean. Got belt on. Bolts tightened down. That's good. Map is on. All the coils are plugged in. We're good there. Everything up top is good. Just go down low one more time. Yeah, I do that too to my own personal vehicles. Sometimes I'll do it to the customer's vehicles, but I'm very cautious about what I'm adding and taking away. Yeah, there's a oil cap, which I have it. I got to put oil in it. I got to let the air pressure build up so I can pump oil. I gave him a new drain plug while I was here. Front cover's cleaned off completely. I don't see any bolts missing in the oil pan. Oil pan's up nice and snug. There, that's good. That's good. Bolts there, snug. Got push out right there in the corner, that's good. Crank sensor's in. My cam sensor there, they're both in. Exhaust bolts are in, oxygen sensor's in. Flange is tight. Exhaust is tight here. The springs. Just put the tires on there real quick. No, I never got the email. Never found the email.
Batteries on this side over here. Charge ports right there on the bottom. I just found out this earlier today. Has a derate setting right here in the middle. There's a little tab with a name right here. If you switch it to the middle, it says impact assist. It'll give you 100%, and as soon as it feels the bolt start to break away, it'll derate it down and allow it to continue under a certain load of power, and then derate it down so it controls you pulling the bolt out or whatever you're trying to extract, and it doesn't go flinging away. This thing is pretty sick. Oh, hey, I could fall asleep standing up. Good night. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for keeping me awake, talking to me. No, I don't have insomnia. I just want to get this shit done. I knew I was gonna forget something, and I caught myself right at the last damn second. Where's that son of a gun at? Where the hell is it? I put it up here. Ah, right there. That bolt you'll forget on these. It sits all the way up top in the front cover, and it's one bolt by itself. Nothing mimics this. How you have one bolt in one side, one in the other, one in the other, one in the other, one in the other, one in the other. They bounce across. This one doesn't have that, and I set it aside. And typically it's somewhere where I can see it, and this time I didn't do it. I'm glad I caught it. I knew something, I was missing one thing. I'll show you guys where it's at if you haven't done it. It's the only bolt that doesn't really have something across from it. I think it's the only one. Sits right there. You see how this block drops down and then comes up? It doesn't have anything to match it on the other side. Alright. Yeah, I'm looking for that damn piece that I had for the ground wire. Oh shit, I'm so fucking tired. Oh, fuck. We'll go old school on it. Oops, sorry. I didn't even see that thing fell. My bad. I hope you weren't there too long. Let's fire this girl up. Come on, stop messing around. look at it and see. Alright. That's it. She's done. She's resealed. I'm exhausted. No. Yeah, there ain't no cracks anywhere by no block. Let's see here. Take this, turn it back around. We good, baby. We bottle popping. Ain't going home. I'll leave you guys up here if you want to talk for a while. But I'm gonna go clean my hands and stuff up, start putting tools and stuff away. If you guys want to hang around while I put tools and stuff away, that's fine, but I'm gonna focus on getting stuff put away because I gotta start the electronic part of it tomorrow. The safety stuff, and that ain't gonna be fun. I'm gonna clean up. No, I think I'm just gonna stay here. I think I'm gonna clean up here and just. I might even leave my damn car outside and don't even worry about it. Curl up in one of these police cars or something like that and go to sleep. Or maybe jump in the car and go down the road, get something to drink and eat real quick, and then send my boss a message, say, hey, don't bother me for a while. I'm here at work, but you're gonna have to leave me alone for a little bit.
Hey,
¿Qué pasó?
Richard, how are you, mi amigo?
¿Qué pasó, amigo?
No much. Starting for one here.
Just let us know outside. I haven't been out. I started work yesterday at I got here like 9:30 because I worked late the night before, so I got a little bit late. I went working since 9:30 yesterday, no stop.
Full night, no stop.
No stop, all the way.
Now, what happened? No finish or starting?
No, maybe sleep in my car for a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
maybe a couple hours, something like that.
You come
maybe,
back.
and then, but drive all the way home, and it's bad outside like it is right now. I don't want to drive home right now. I'm too tired. Too much work.
It's okay. Couple time is okay.
Yeah.
Couple is okay.
Not every day.
No every day, no every day. Me too. Me too. Me work in mall.
I know you work a lot.
Yeah. Me come back here. Starting. Couple people no work in my boss. Me off Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
My boss called me. Hey, you work Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday. It's okay. No problem.
Yeah.
5 hours. Oh. Last weekend maybe 52, 12, 40 hours and overtime. It's
Yeah.
okay for money. It's okay.
Yeah.
This one Tuesday, it's okay. Go home. Me at home, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Me
Yeah.
call for my boy. Hey, yesterday Wednesday, no work. Hey, no got people for work. I know because I need to sleep.
You're working me
I
too
need
much,
rest.
yeah.
Too much for me. Antonio, no got for people for work. I
Yeah.
know my amigo because I'm sorry.
Yeah. You can only do so much, you know,
Yeah.
and the body finally says no more.
Yeah. Me sleepy. Me sit down in a sofa.
Yeah. 2 minutes done sleeping.
My wife he said, maybe you are that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this right now while I'm putting my tools away and stuff, my eyes are so heavy right now.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
the body. It's just tired.
It's too much.
It's a problem for driver.
Yeah.
You sleepy. It's just
Too
big
much. Yeah.
problem.
That's
big
why
problem.
I don't want to drive home. I'm too tired right now to be driving. So I just want to go sleep, you know, wash my hands, my face and stuff. Yeah, maybe put it in another uniform on. Don't even put my regular clothes on. Just go back into the new work clothes and sleep in the car. Don't even drive.
Yeah, me driver every day driver there.
You drive like what, 4 or 5 hours, right?
Yeah, 45, 1 hour.
So 45 one way, 45 back. Then you gotta go to the other job. Then you're coming back.
No good.
Yeah.
It's for $200 more. It's okay couple times because
Yeah.
no sometime.
Yeah.
It says me sleepy, couple times me sleepy. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me stop in gas station, maybe 1 month before.
Yeah.
Me stop in one station,
Yeah.
sleepy.
Yeah.
What happened?
I did this.
The police.
Yeah.
Police. Yeah, you mean windows?
Yeah.
You okay?
Mucho trabajo para mí.
Yeah. Me, what happened? What are you doing? I a little sleepy. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay, have the car. It says a test for me. The light. They go, hey, my friend. It says no drink, no nothing, no coca, no
Yeah.
nothing. It's only tire. It says me stop here for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It says check.
Yeah.
Full my car.
Oh.
It's too much because it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's too much for me because it's okay. It says you work okay. Because me okay.
Same with me. Like maybe
Yeah.
3 months ago, I worked like 15 hours, and I was doing it in a row. 15 hours, and then one day I'm driving home. You know, I go to my house, I park the car, and I go to open the door. True story. I go to open the door, and I don't even open the door all the way. Already my head is down, and I'm sleeping. The door is open. My foot is outside the door, and one foot is inside the car, and I'm sitting there like this, like. It looks like I'm high or I'm drunk, and the cop is coming to the apartment complex, and then he comes up, he walks behind the car, and he says, something wrong over here? You okay? Something wrong over here? You okay? I hear it, and I can't wake up.
Yeah.
And he gets really close to me, and he says, hey! And I woke up, and I said, oh, yes, officer. And he said, you okay? And I said, yeah, I work too much. And
Yeah.
I've been working too much, and I couldn't make it any further. And I just crashed, like my body wanted to be done. And I'm sleeping, 1 foot out and 1 foot in, one hand out, one hand in, and my head like this, like somebody shot me. Looked like somebody killed me. And when
Outside the home?
Yeah, like 20 feet from my door. And the cop is like,
No,
man,
man.
you gotta be careful, man, because he said, come out of the car. So I come out of the car, and he's checking my eyes and stuff like that, and he says, everything's okay? And I said, no, everything's fine. I work a lot, man. I work a lot. And he said, okay,
Go to your house, man. Come on. And he's walking with me to the house, and he says,
Yeah, my son talked to me last week, and hey, father, this says take it easy. This is maybe you work for $200 more for week or $300 more for week.
And then
this is broken your car,
Yeah,
2,000.
or your
me,
life, your car.
hospital,
Yeah.
couple weeks no work.
Yeah.
This is more pay for not be careful.
right.
Yeah. No, now me and stuff maybe. My boss is okay because it's not my problem that they know people.
Yeah, it's not your problem.
Yeah, me, Mr. Antonio, it's not got people. I know.
You're trying to help. You're trying to do your part.
Yeah, me
You-
work for a couple of weeks before for you.
You can't work every time for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go sleep, and I don't want nobody to bother me for a long time. I stayed here to get all this shit done all night, and I'm gonna go sleep in my car. And when I wake up, I wake up. I don't want fucking Tom or nobody or to come. Hey, where's Rich? Hey? I fucking cracked this shit out for as much as I could all night. Why are you here?
I'm such a fucking migraine.
Why'd you come in so early?
I'm always here at 3:30.
3:30?
I have shit that I can't get done because I got idiots up there that don't want to fucking work.
Yeah.
I have to get caught up on.
No. I can hear you guys. I just didn't want you guys to be a part of the conversation that was going on with these our head service writer. Yeah, I did.
So it was how much? $57?
It was $57 for the gasket or whatever, but
So I gotta find you at least another hour, if not a little more. Okay.
it's running good. It's clean. It's dry. No more oil leaks.
All we have is that steering sensor.
It's
Right?
that one time that it's set, and I got to get that set. And I was talking to Duda about it last night, and he said you should have sold the lower steering. I said why? It says, and Brian told me you can't order.
I've seen hit or miss.
Yeah.
I've seen that angle sensor fix it.
Yeah.
And never have a problem again.
Yeah. Well, he was telling me that he said he's had to do it for you guys here, where he's had to go in 3 times just to do the same sensor because it's so hard to keep it centered whenever you go to put the upper half of the steering column.
That I don't know.
Yeah. And he said that's the problem. And he said you could have ordered that lower section of that steering column and pulled the top part off and just put the whole piece in and not even worry about it. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? The fucking workshop manual says to replace the sensor. I'm trying to do what the manual says to do, and not just throw a big giant part in.
Right. Let me book everything out and then we figure it out.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys being patient. You guys know how it is in the dealership. You know how some of us take on more responsibility than others. Other people drop the ball and don't help out like they should. And me, you guys should know by now my main focus is the customer. It's always the customer. I don't care about being popular on YouTube. I don't care about if people fucking like me or not. I could give a shit less if people's feelings are hurt because I said something to them. I care about the customer. I care about being as proficient as I possibly can in my job, gaining as much knowledge as I possibly can, being as frustrated as I possibly can so I can be better in that moment. But at the same time, I don't want to let people down. So I go the extra mile. I do the extra things that other people don't do. I go take money out of my own pocket when I fuck up or somebody else messes up and drops the ball in the customer's car. I pay for it. I just don't feel right letting a vehicle go, not knowing that I didn't do everything that I could to make sure that customer's taken care of and they don't have to come back. So I felt a little irresponsible last night when I quartered out the front cover, and then I got to looking at the oil pan and I was like, shit, the oil pan needs to be done too. I may as well do it while I'm here. So I chalked it up as I'm going to eat the $57 for the gasket, but our head service writer, he says, no, you ain't got to do that. I'll find the time for you. You know, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I'll find the time for you to make up for that money that you lost. They appreciate when I do stuff like that, and they know that I do it because I want the job done right. I don't want the customer to be pissed off and have to come back. Well, he's been doing this for 30 years. He's been at this place for 30 years or 31 years. He's been around for a long time, and a lot of people know him. A lot of people know him. I'm talking all the police stations, all the fire stations, all the customers around here. He's not the manager. He's the head service writer. He could be the manager, though. There are a lot of us out here that are like this, but there's a lot of us that aren't. I really enjoy what I do, and I really enjoy repairing and fixing things and diagnosing and doing all this stuff. It really makes me happy to see other people happy through the work that I do and the connections that I make. The gentleman with the Focus RS, he came today just to meet me. He came early, a few hours early, and he came to meet me, shake my hand, and talk to me, and watch the YouTube videos and stuff now. And he was like, "Dude, thank you for everything. I appreciate everything." People don't get service like that because people just don't care anymore. Well, I can't say people in general. I speak too general when I say that because I get emotional when I talk. But I mean more along the lines of there's a lot of people that do care, but there's also quite a bit of people that don't. And those that don't are the ones that make us look bad that do care. And we're just trying to do the right thing by the customer. Not trying to take advantage of them, not trying to charge extra time. Not trying to do any of that, just trying to do the right damn thing. Just like I would want somebody to do me. I don't want these people to go without their vehicle, you know. And they've already called up a couple times, "Hey, am I gonna have my vehicle back on Thursday? I really need my vehicle back, so if I have to eat my time up to make sure they're taken care of, then that's what I have to do." I mean, that's how the business is. So, unfortunately, you do what you got to do to get the job done. Unfortunately, but fortunately, probably said that a little wrong. I think you guys. Yep, the golden rule. And I promised to this one by tomorrow, so that's why I had to get this one done today, because I try to keep my promises. And I promised the customer that I would have this done by tomorrow. So the Escape has to at least be torn down and getting put back together today. one of the gentlemen from World Pack, the Mechanics Institute. I don't know if you guys know World Pack, but the guy's hired on to be like a team lead, or not a team lead, but he's gonna do a class on programming, or class on electrical stuff with computers. And he sent me a message, and he said, I'm interested in bringing you on board if they allow me to. We are looking for a instructor for Ford, and we're looking at you if you would be interested for being part of the World Pack team as a master tech for Ford. I would love to consider bringing you on board as one of the instructors for World Pack. So I don't know. I mean, it's something he just threw in my court, and I said thank you. I'll consider it, and I think I want to do it. I think it's online instructing, and it's part of a pretty big team of them. If he can pull me on. Oh, there's more than that here, man. There's like 10 cruisers here. Happy New Year. I appreciate you. Have a great night. Did somebody else send me another super chat and I didn't catch it? I think somebody did, but I don't know where it's at. I can't go up any higher. Who sent me the other super chat? I didn't see that. Oh no, I know. I'm done. I'm just putting tools away, and I'm actually gonna go clean up and sleep in the car for a while. Joe Diesel, what's up, brother? Wow. Joe Diesel 187 in the house. If you guys don't know him, check out his channel. Great dude. Just I worked from 9:30 yesterday until what time is it right now? It's 3:37 the following day in the morning. Just too much work, man. Just can't keep up with it. Had to reseal the motor on this thing, so I pulled it all apart and resealed it. Now I got to reseal the motor on this one over here, so I'm gonna go sleep for probably 4 or 5 hours, and then come back in and get back on this one and start ripping this motor apart. Yeah. It's bothering me though, Joe. It's getting to the point where I'm so exhausted during the day that a lot of times when my voice starts to go out, my eyes get real heavy. I'm getting constant headaches and stuff now. I can't see very good for like the first 15-20 minutes after I wake up. My body's exhausted. Just literally exhausted. Yes, sir. It's Todd. I've been here since 9:30 yesterday. No lunch, no dinner, no breakfast, no snacks, no nothing. Ice water, vape, and just drive on. ...2013 F-250 gasoline pickup, good vehicle? Yes, it is. Oh, Jonathan, that's too much, man. Yep, buy it. Good vehicle. Buy it. Yes, sir. Still here. Finishing up, cleaning up the tools, and then I'm gonna go sleep in the car for a while. And I'm gonna come back in here and do it again. Yay. And some of these people listen to these guys on the internet. They want to sit down and put products out in front of them and do reviews, but they ain't never worked a day like this in their damn lives. I laugh at it, man. I laugh. That's what we were talking about, kind of like on A-Rod's channel, is this all the craziness and all the misinformation that people spread out there. And it's like, how much have you actually, involved yourself in stressful, crazy, nasty situations where you're just rolling. You're seeing inside these motors, you're tearing them apart, you're resealing them, you're doing all kinds of shit. A lot of these guys, they're all jokesters, man. They don't even come close to guys that are out here grinding it and just they're seeing what's going on in this industry, being involved in it, shit-eating, breathing it. They don't understand what it's like. So I get a kick out of these guys that come here after I talk about additives or Lucas oil stabilizer or something, and they're like, oh, but my 1970 truck runs so good on it. Yet in the video I specified literally the older vehicles probably did benefit from having that type of additive in. The new stuff, no way, chief. But they still can't hear because their own bias blocks them actually paying attention. And if you notice at that point, they get angry and they can't talk anymore, and then it's insults, and then they want to throw stuff at you and stuff, and then you gotta try to defend yourself, and it's a constant battle. So that's why a couple weeks ago I heard that there's a message on TikTok. It said there's a reason why honeybees don't explain to flies where honey comes from or something like that, or how they make honey. It's because they ain't shit to them. So, where am I at? Jojo, I will, man. I appreciate that. Can't wait to get you on here, man. Shit's crazy right now with the hobby shop, and then here at the dealership, and then everybody's sending me tools and shit to do reviews, and then A-Rod, the Wednesday tech talk and everything else. Thank you. It's just it's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and like 5 or 6 in the parking lot right behind the wall here. There's more than 2. There's enough to chase down everybody. Well, that's the end of the show, folks. All my tools are cleaned up. There's nothing left to do other than for me to clean my hands up, put some clean clothes on, wash my face, shower, and go sleep for a little bit. Everybody, have a great night. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed evening wherever you're at. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, keeping me awake, and helping me finish my job. I appreciate you all as always. Until next time. Hooah! Be blessed.